And very good Friday morning, folks. NTV Chief Meteorologist Eddie Shear here. Just wanted to give you a quick weather briefing as we start off on Friday, December 18th, 2015. The time now, 8:21 a.m. Area of low pressure will move across the province over the next couple of days. A slow mover, and it will become a very strong low, especially by Sunday morning, once the low is north of Newfoundland and east of Labrador. Now today, on the warm side of that low, we will see some mixed precipitation working its way across the island. Now for most of us, this will be no big deal, but in the areas highlighted here in the special weather statement, Green Bay, White Bay, Grosse Morne, Deer Lake, Humber Valley, and Corner Brook and vicinity, these areas will see not only some gusty winds today, but they will also see potentially a prolonged period of freezing rain, especially in the Deer Lake, Humber Valley areas and the Green Bay, White Bay area as we go into the late afternoon and early evening hours before it changes to rain overnight. So if you're going to be traveling on the TCH through this area, and as we know, it runs up through this area and then into Humber Valley before getting into Corner Brook and then down toward the Bay St. George area. Keep that in mind this evening. It looks like on the west coast we see some gusty winds today, and a wreck house wind warning is also in place. Labrador will be on the cold side of this low, so up that way we have special weather statements for the potential for heavy snowfall, especially tonight through Sunday along the Labrador coast, and a snowfall warning has been issued for Cartwright and vicinity, and as we get into the Eagle River area. But all of these areas will more than likely see significant snow over the next 24 to 36 hours. As far as what we have going on right now, a little bit of light snow working its way in across southern sections of the Avalon Peninsula, Burin Peninsula. This is just a bit of an appetizer. That's not really the main band of precipitation. The main band is still working onto the west coast now and then pushing off the coast of Nova Scotia. This area will work in as we head into this afternoon, and this is the area that's going to bring a little bit of snow to most of the island today, followed by a quick period of, or I should say, a quick change to freezing rain, ice pellet, and eventually rain. So that's how we're looking right now. So don't expect a whole lot of really anything this morning, especially if you're across eastern sections of the island. So how this breaks down, this is the RDPS model showing what it thinks the precipitation will be like at 8:30 this morning, and we can see it's doing a pretty good job. Snow along the south coast, the mix in yellow offshore, and the rain down toward Nova Scotia and well offshore. Jumping ahead 3 more hours now, this is 11:30 in the morning, so just before lunchtime. We see some light snowfall across the Avalon, some light snow working into interior Newfoundland, and then some heavier snow in that darker blue right along the south coast, but the rain line is not too far behind. On the Burin Peninsula, it may start briefly as snow, but quickly change over to rain. As we go ahead now to 2:30 in the afternoon, we see that blue there. That's the heavier snowfall across the Avalon Peninsula, northern part of the Burin Peninsula, encroaching on Clarenville, still just shy of Gander, and Grand Falls, Windsor. But it looks like we see the snow starting, so after 11:30. So right around lunchtime, it should get underway for many areas, and it will be heavy at times for a few hours as we go into the afternoon. And it looks like now as we're toward evening commute time, we are seeing that snow changing over to ice pellet and freezing rain across the northern Avalon. Southern Avalon has changed to rain by drive time. Central Newfoundland looks like some light to moderate snow flying with that freezing rain for Buckens in the interior there and that pink color. And then Deer Lake, Humber Valley also seeing some freezing rain as we get into 5:30. And then now getting into 8:30, we've seen the snow change to rain for the south coast, much of eastern Newfoundland, but it looks like especially just west of Gander. And I'll pick it out for you right here. This is the area where the special weather statement is predominantly in place for. This is the area that we could see 6 hours of freezing rain. So roads, pardon me, and walking may get a little bit slick in that area later this afternoon and this evening, but it looks like by 10:30 this evening, or 11:30 this evening, excuse me, most of us have changed to rain. That freezing rain still hanging on in interior western Newfoundland, and we are seeing some snow along the northern peninsula by then, and it looks like in Labrador that snow is working its way toward the coast, which will really get underway as we go into tomorrow morning. So this is by tomorrow morning now, 8:30, and you can see very heavy snowfall along the Labrador coast. We're seeing some rain across western Newfoundland, all rain at that point. And as we go through the day tomorrow, that low works its way offshore. Snow continues on the Labrador coast. We see the rain ending on the island by mid-afternoon, but then snow squalls develop on the west coast by Saturday evening, I should say. And as that low really takes its time departing, snow squalls will continue on the west coast Saturday night through Sunday, and snow on the Labrador coast will also continue as we head into Sunday as well, tapering off in the afternoon. Notice this here, this low, forecast to go 950. That's equivalent to a strong hurricane. So this is going to be a big wind maker. Now, we're not talking hurricane force winds, but we are going to be seeing winds for many of us gusting close to 100 kilometers per hour Saturday evening into Sunday. So this is the GFS model forecast for winds Saturday night. This is about 2:30 in the morning. And that yellow color there are winds in the 50 to 55 knot range, which is closing in on 100 kilometers per hour, if not a little more. And so parts of the Labrador coast, especially cut right northward, and many areas of the island will actually see some very gusty winds. Something that's also cool to pick out, there's a low center right there where there's no wind. But when these lows get off the southeast coast of Labrador, they often generate very strong westerly and southwesterly winds across the island. So I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of us see some gusts closing in on 100 kilometers per hour, if not more, especially on the northeast Avalon and the south coast and the northern coast of the island. So really any coastal area will see some very strong winds as we head into Saturday evening and Sunday. And it looks like on Sunday, we'll go through Sunday now. Widespread flurries is what you see there as the low pulls away. That darker blue still showing snow along the Labrador coast and some squalls along the west coast of the island, and it all begins to taper off by Sunday night. Quick question, many folks are asking, how much snow do we see? Well, Labrador, looks like it's going to be a lot. GFS model here forecasting what would be close to 60 centimeters in the Cartwright area between tonight and Sunday. I'm not saying it's going to be that much, but definitely 40, 50 a good possibility. Back through Goose Bay, looks like closer to 30 centimeters. That pink color there, that's a foot, so, or a little bit more. So it looks like it's going to be a lot. As we get up into the long-range mountains of western Newfoundland, most of this will fall Saturday night through Sunday. So there we could be seeing a lot of the onshore flurry snow piling up. And then what you see generally east of there is the snow we're going to pick up on the front end of the system today, which is about 2 to 5 centimeters for most of central and eastern Newfoundland. As far as the freezing rain threat goes, wow, I'm going a lot longer than I thought, so my apologies here. As far as the freezing rain threat goes, I will show you how much it looks like we are going to see for central. And so we'll go through time today, and it looks like for interior Newfoundland, we're talking 2 to 5 millimeters of freezing rain for I guess, interior central areas, and then the northern peninsula. So that may certainly cause some slick roads and spots this afternoon and this evening, so keep that in mind if you're going to be driving. So far as temperatures go, starting off this morning, everybody's below freezing, but notice as we go into the evening hours, most of us are between 0 and 3. And the warm sector really works its way across the island by tomorrow morning, when most of us are 5, 6 degrees, a little bit colder on the northern peninsula. And then as we go through the day Saturday, that colder air filters back in, and most of us are below freezing by Saturday evening, if not by Sunday morning. And Labrador temperatures will stay below freezing throughout the event. So I hope this gave you a bit of an idea as to what we can expect today, tonight, and through the weekend. And you can find all my updates on social media: Facebook meteorologist Eddie Shear, Twitter at Eddie Shear. And I will see you tonight on NTV. First edition, 5:30 to 6 o'clock, and the evening news hour between 6 and 7. Have a great day.